That's all that's left of my gasoline powered car aspirations. Now, when I win the lottery, I'll probably get another car. But in the meantime, that's the one that someday, because I am going to live that long, right? We're all guaranteed to live that long. So, yeah, that's a 360 engined 1977 Chrysler New Yorker. Probably weighs about 4,500 pounds. The goal would be, because it's completely trash inside, would be to gut it, lighten it, lose the excess weight, roll cage it, and just drive it. Get it back to running. Get a nice motor. But will there be gasoline to power this motor? Will I be able to go out and go to a racetrack and race this sometime like I did decades ago? Not this car, but other cars I've taken. Well, specifically to the track, a 1970 Dodge Dart with, of course, I forget what the motor was now, honestly. I forget what it was in there. Did have a nice paint job, though. Had a 440 V8 GTX 67 Plymouth GTX, white with red stripes, which was one of the most, 4-speed, which was one of the funnest cars to drive. It would always lay a posi in second gear, car length and a half a posi in second gear every time you stomped on it. Had a 67 Fastback Barracuda, one of my favorite cars. Beautiful design. The seat flattened back. It had this whole big back window, a fastback. Had a 71, I believe it was 340 or 360 Duster, Plymouth Duster. What else did we have? What else did I have? I had one Chevy, which was probably the best car I owned, which was a show car. Some kid was in my school, was getting married, and he had to sell the car. It actually placed third in the Injectors Auto Show, which was a car show in Washington, D.C. back in the day. It had a custom paint job. The engine was coming out of the hood of the car. Had a crack in the hood scoop, which the car would vibrate so much. I could watch the gas gauge drop as I drove to school. Okay, that may not seem like an intelligent thing, but gas was probably, I don't know, probably 50 cents, so it wasn't as big of a deal. Of course, 50 cents was more than those two. Anyway, the point is, just like record stores have gone obsolete, now it looks like automobiles, gasoline-powered automobiles, will go obsolete. And bookstores, obsolete. There's no more just going and browsing a bookstore. There's no more going and browsing a record store and finding that gem, that thing that you, from a band that you know, and you're going, I haven't heard of this. This is going to be awesome. And it is. And getting behind the wheel of a 500 horsepower, 400 horsepower V8 engine and just putting your foot to the floor and feeling that, feeling alive, that's also going by the wayside, and the implementation of that is by the Democrats. By the people the government who is telling us we can't drive automobiles with gas power. It's telling us we have to drive cars with electric power. Wait a minute. Does the government tell us what to do, or do we vote the government, or no? Do we vote the politicians in, and the politicians and the bureaucrats work to help us. It seems like they're pushing their agenda rather than... I certainly don't want that. I certainly don't want gasoline-powered cars to be obsolete. They're cheaper and they're already here, and we're already set up for that. They already turned cars back in 71 and 72 on into more efficient mileage makers. So anyway, yeah, maybe you could say that that's what happens as time progresses. Everything that you had as a youth, as a young man or a young woman, or a young whatever you are, I don't know. That's another story altogether. But yeah, everything in the past isn't bad. Jesus was born 2,000 years ago. And while it was a bad moment when he died, it was a good moment when he rose, when he rised. And I'm just saying, we don't have to change everything. And just because you're changing something, just because you change it, doesn't mean you're changing it for the good. As anybody who ever drove a hot rod will tell you. I love that TikTok where, what's his name? The guy from that movie, The Hangover. You see somebody racing by in a hot rod, and then the guy in The Hangover, what's his name? Dang it, I don't remember his name. Anyway, the guy rides by in a hot rod, gas-powered, and then the guy from The Hangover puts a thumb in the eye to all the people driving their electric cars. And I'm fine with you driving electric cars. Don't get me wrong. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. But don't tell me I have to. Don't force me to. That's the point. Gus, would you like some water? Go ahead. But I ain't going to force you.